How's it? Today is Monday, December 8th. It is a snatch day and it is cold. It was cold. It was very cold this morning. Um, I took a little bit more time to warm up, a little bit better, a little bit longer than I normally do. I videoed some of them, not all of them, but um, yeah, today's snatch stuff, some of it went according to plan, some of it did not, but that is totally fine. And I'm very happy with how things are going with my back. Honestly, with my overhead work today for the snatch push press and the overhead squat, um, I did not notice my lower back having any amount of discomfort, any amount of pain or anything. And it's really strange because I've been kind of dealing with this thing on and off for I don't know, like 6 months, something like that. And I hope it really doesn't come back. Maybe this is the last of it. I don't know, but um, I didn't even think about it today, and maybe that's just a sign of getting a little bit more confidence with the movements. But when I was lifting, like I didn't feel hampered down or really. I didn't feel like I was getting the how do you say like I didn't feel like I was getting a mental block, where sometimes it you are a little bit scared with catching the bar, pushing hard, getting to certain positions and stuff like that. And I didn't feel any of that today, which is really awesome. The complex itself was, three snatch push press plus one overhead squat up to 112, which is just 2 kilos heavier than last week. Last week was kind of the reset week, and I didn't expect it to be hard at all. And for the most part, it was pretty okay. I think my last push press before the overhead squat was a bit a bit wobbly, but here's my top set. And yeah, I after that I moved into the hang snatches, did some hang snatch doubles, and they were a bit challenging. I feel like today's level of comfortability with my technique was not the best. It was definitely not my best showing of snatch technique. It felt like I was trying to like get under the bar and dive under the bar a little bit early, a little bit premature, and with that happening, it meant that there was like a sort of disconnect between extension and then keeping tension on the bar. It felt like while I was trying to be quicker, it ended up being slower. It felt very disjointed, and at heavier weights, it is really something that I am not strong enough to overcome. And so when I'm looking at like these lighter weights, like these look really fine to me. Like that looks really great. It looks really connected at 40. 40 is only 88 pounds. 40 is not even half of what my goal weight is today. I'm working up to 92 for 3 sets of two, and yeah, that 60 looks okay. And then that one looked a lot better than the first one. Just what I'm looking at is I'm trying to see the point where I get to extension and see how my body moves after that. That one was not super great. That was a lot better. It's very hard to see like or to explain in real time, but it's like if I'm just kind of really throwing my body under the bar immediately after extension without having like a necessary like pull up on the bar, then that is not good. So here's where I start encountering some issues here. Here's 90. This would have been my last warm up, and you can see how if you reverse or rewind it back to I think it was a 70. That's how that one I mentioned did not look great at 70. That's how it looked at this rep at 90. So I try and redo it again, and a little bit better, but still leaves a lot to be desired. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna still go up, and I do 92 here, and I make the lifts. It's just, again, I feel a bit disjointed with that, and I think that's okay. I think there's a lot of variance in the way that weightlifting has so much like planes of movement. And I think a lot of that variance is why certain days are different and certain days are easy, some are hard, lots of different reasons why certain things are the way they are. So I tried my best to do another set here, and I'm unable to. I think like if you look back at that second rep and you look at where the kind of faults are on the technique, I think that I am trying to lean back a little bit while still trying to get under the bar. So it creates this weird positioning where if I don't have the correct timing, which I clearly did not on that, then I will end up missing the lifts. And it is not because I don't have the correct height or the strength or the speed or any of these things. It's literally just the timing for my positions just is a little bit off. And that small percentage being off is what's going to be make or break for a lot of lifts, especially at higher weights and when I get tired and all these things. But afterwards, I did some snatch Romanian deadlifts, which is a little increase from last week, up to 107 for 3 sets of 3. These feel really awesome, to be honest, on my hamstrings. My glutes feel a little bit of it, but it is kind of really training me to hold the weight in my upper body as well. I probably mentioned that last week and every other time I do this lift, but it is super helpful for kind of building the confidence to be able to hold on to weights. Not necessarily with my hands, because I feel like my hands are strong enough to do it, but with my upper body, which is it's not the weakest relatively, but it is weak. um, After that, I did some GHD sit-ups and some pull-ups. Typically my GHD sit-up is where my lower back has some pain issues, and again, didn't feel any of it today, and very very surprised that I didn't think about it a single time during the session. Like I wrote in my training log, like as I was driving away, I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that my back didn't hurt today. And sometimes that's the first step back to being normal and being healthy. So maybe we'll continue that journey tomorrow. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Shoots.